Have you ever watched someone you love destroy everything you built together, leaving only heartbreak? Late nights, endless lies, and money vanished. It tore my family apart, piece by piece. I'm James. My gambling addiction nearly cost me my wife Sarah and our son Ethan. Every bet I made pushed my family further away, leaving me drowning in shame and guilt. But what if one choice, one moment of faith, could rebuild everything you thought was lost? This is my story of how God's love restored my family from the ruins of addiction. 10 years ago in Ohio, my life with Sarah and Ethan was a tapestry of love, woven with dreams I thought would last forever in our hearts. Sarah's radiant smile filled our modest home with warmth. Her gentle love was a daily reminder of God's grace, grounding us in joy and hope. Ethan, our bright-eyed son, was my pride. His infectious laughter echoed through our house, painting our days with a joy that felt eternal and pure. Every Sunday, we knelt in church, hands clasped, singing hymns, convinced our shared faith would shield our family from any storm that life might bring. As a mechanic, I toiled daily, my calloused hands providing for my family, each paycheck a testament to God's provision and my unwavering commitment to them. Our evenings glowed with board games and laughter as we shared dreams of a future where love and togetherness would forever define our little family. Yet, beneath our joy, tiny cracks formed, unseen tensions waiting to unravel, like a storm cloud gathering quietly on the horizon of our perfect life. It began so innocently, a few bets with friends at a local bar, a fleeting thrill I believed I could master without risking my family's love. I didn't realize how those bets would grow, their allure pulling me away from the family I swore to protect, blinding me to their pain. Sarah sensed my growing distance. Her worried glances cut through my lies, pleading for the man she loved to return. But I kept hiding my shame. Ethan's dreams, once shared freely with me, faded into silence. His closed door and quiet sighs spoke of a bond I was slowly breaking apart. Our once perfect life was slipping through my fingers, lost to the grip of gambling, as I remained blind to the devastation my choices would soon unleash. My gambling started small, but soon it consumed me, pulling me into a dark abyss where every bet promised salvation but delivered only deeper despair. I'd sneak out at night, leaving Sarah alone, telling her I was working late while I chased the next win to fill the void inside me. Our savings dwindled as I poured every dollar into bets, believing each one would fix everything, but only digging a deeper hole for our family. Sarah found the bank statements. Her tearful eyes confronted me, asking why I'd betrayed our trust, but I deflected, hiding my shame with lies. Our arguments grew louder, shaking the walls of our once happy home, as Sarah's pleas for truth clashed with my stubborn refusal to admit my addiction. Ethan overheard our fights, his young heart breaking as he watched the father he admired slip away, replaced by a stranger consumed by gambling's grip. I lost my temper too often, snapping at Ethan when he asked about my late nights, pushing him further into silence, away from my broken heart. Bills piled up, unpaid, as I drained our accounts, chasing a win that never came, leaving our family teetering on the edge of financial ruin. Sarah stopped smiling. Her warmth faded, replaced by a quiet fear that I was no longer the man she married, the man she trusted with her heart. Ethan locked himself in his room, his basketball untouched, his dreams silenced as my addiction stole the father he needed, leaving him lost in our chaos. I'd come home at dawn, reeking of casinos, avoiding Sarah's gaze, knowing my lies couldn't hide the truth of my betrayal any longer from her. One night, Sarah demanded answers, her voice trembling with pain, accusing me of destroying our family, but I stormed out, unable to face her truth. I drove aimlessly, my heart heavy with guilt, knowing I'd chosen gambling over my family, yet unable to stop the urge that consumed my every thought. Creditors called daily, their cold voices reminding us of debts I couldn't pay, threatening to take our home, the foundation of our family's dreams.
Sarah took extra shifts, her tired eyes hiding the pain of my failures, working to save us while I sank deeper into gambling's merciless trap. Ethan's grades slipped. He stopped playing basketball, retreating into himself, as my addiction stole the father he needed, leaving him lost in our chaos. I pawned family heirlooms, Sarah's mother's ring, to fund my bets, each sale a stab to my heart, yet I couldn't stop the addiction's pull. Our church visits stopped. I couldn't face God or our friends, knowing my sins were tearing apart the family we'd built in His name. Sarah's friends whispered about our struggles. Her shame grew as she carried the burden of my addiction, hiding it to protect our family's name. Ethan faced bullies at school, taunted for our family's troubles, his pain a silent cry for the father I'd failed to be in his life. I borrowed from dangerous men, promising to pay back with money I didn't have, risking our safety as my addiction spiraled beyond my control. Sarah threatened to leave, her bags packed, her heart broken, saying she couldn't watch me destroy us anymore, but I begged her to stay. I hit rock bottom, alone in a casino, no money left, my family slipping away, realizing I'd traded their love for a game I couldn't win. In that dark moment, I saw my family's faces, their pain my fault, and wondered if there was any way to undo the wreckage I'd caused. The weight of my addiction crushed me daily, each memory of Sarah's tears a knife in my heart, reminding me I'd destroyed our sacred bond. Sarah's once bright eyes now held only sorrow, her faith in me shattered, replaced by a fear that our love might never heal from my betrayal. Ethan's silence cut deeper than words. His closed door was a wall between us, built by my failure to be the father he deserved. I saw myself in the mirror, a stranger staring back, haunted by the man I'd become, a gambler who traded family for empty promises of wealth. Sarah prayed alone at night, her whispers to God begging for strength to endure the pain I'd caused, her faith the only anchor in our storm. Ethan stopped dreaming of college. My addiction stole his future, leaving him trapped in a home where hope felt like a distant, unreachable star. Our home, once filled with laughter, now echoed with silence, each empty room a reminder of the joy I'd gambled away in my selfish pursuit. I hid from friends, ashamed of my debts, my lies, knowing their pitying looks would only deepen the guilt that gnawed at my broken soul. Sarah's health faltered under stress. Her sleepless nights and endless worry aged her, a painful cost of my addiction she bore in quiet suffering. Ethan's anger grew. He lashed out at school, his pain spilling over, a cry for the father I'd failed to be, lost to my gambling. My mind was a battlefield, torn between love for my family and the addiction that chained me, each day a war I seemed destined to lose. Sarah's faith wavered. She questioned if God had abandoned us, her prayers unanswered, as my addiction cast a shadow over the hope she clung to. Ethan felt abandoned, believing I'd chosen gambling over him, his young heart scarred by the absence of a father who once promised to always stay. I dreamed of our old life, but woke to the nightmare I'd created, each morning a reminder that my family's pain was my unforgivable fault. Our community turned away, their judgment heavy, as whispers of my addiction spread, isolating Sarah and Ethan in a world of shame I'd built. I feared losing them forever, my heart aching with the thought that my sins might leave me alone, without the family I'd vowed to protect. Sarah's words haunted me. I don't know you anymore. Her voice a mirror to the stranger I'd become, lost in the wreckage of my addiction. In my darkest hour, I wondered if God could forgive me, if I could ever reclaim the love I'd lost, or if I was too far gone. In my deepest despair, alone in that empty casino, a faint whisper stirred my soul, urging me to seek a light I'd long forgotten. I stumbled out into the dawn, my heart heavy, yet something pulled me toward a church I hadn't entered since our family was whole. The church doors creaked open, welcoming me like an old friend, their warmth a stark contrast to the cold emptiness I'd lived in for years. I knelt in the pew, my head bowed, tears falling, confessing my sins to God, begging for a chance to save my family from ruin. A soft voice spoke within me, not of judgment, but of love, promising forgiveness if I surrendered my addiction and chose my family again. An old friend from church found me there, his kind eyes offering no blame, only a hand to guide me back to a path of redemption. He invited me to a support group where broken men like me shared stories of addiction, yet found strength in faith to rebuild their lives. For the first time, I admitted my addiction aloud, the words freeing my heart, as tears fell and strangers' prayers wrapped me in God's grace. I read the Bible again, its words piercing my soul, reminding me that God's love could restore even a man as broken as I had become. I prayed daily, not for wealth, but for strength to face my family, to earn their trust again, to be the man they once believed in. Sarah noticed my change, her wary eyes softened, as I shared my journey, asking for her forgiveness, hoping she'd see the man I was becoming. Ethan was harder to reach. His hurt ran deep, but I kept showing up, praying my actions would prove my love was stronger than my past. The group taught me accountability. Their stories of redemption through faith gave me courage to fight my addiction, knowing I wasn't alone in this battle. Each day without gambling felt like a victory, a step closer to God, to my family, to the man I was meant to be all along. I found a sponsor, a man of faith, who guided me through temptation, reminding me that God's strength was greater than any urge I faced. Sarah joined me at church one Sunday, her hand in mine, a fragile trust rebuilding, as we prayed together for the first time in years. Ethan watched from afar, his heart still guarded, but I saw a flicker of hope in his eyes, a sign he might forgive me someday. This light of faith, though fragile, was growing, guiding me home to my family, to God, with a promise of redemption I dared to believe. My addiction wasn't just about gambling, it was a battle in my mind, a void I tried to fill with bets, but only faith could truly heal. Faith rewired my thoughts, replacing the lies of addiction with God's truth that I was worthy of love, capable of change, and never truly alone. Psychologically, addiction thrives on shame, but faith taught me to forgive myself, breaking the cycle of guilt that kept me chained to my bets. God's love filled the emptiness inside me, giving me purpose beyond gambling, a reason to fight for my family, to rebuild what I had broken. Spiritually, faith anchored me to something greater, reminding me that God's strength was in me, empowering me to resist temptation with newfound resolve. My support group showed me community's power. Their prayers and stories reinforced my faith, proving I could overcome addiction with others by my side. Faith shifted my identity. I wasn't just an addict, but a child of God, called to rise above my past and reclaim my family's love. Psychologically, faith gave me hope, a vision of a future where my family could heal, driving me to act with courage instead of despair. Spiritually, I learned surrender. Trusting God's plan over my own gave me peace, freeing me from the need to control through gambling's false promises. Faith taught me to face my fears, to confess my wrongs to Sarah, knowing her forgiveness would be a miracle born of God's boundless love. Psychologically, addiction isolates, but faith rebuilt my connection to others, showing me that vulnerability in community was the key to lasting healing and change. Spiritually, I found purpose in serving God, my family, and others, a calling that replaced the fleeting thrill of gambling with eternal, meaningful joy. Faith gave me resilience. Each temptation I faced was a chance to choose God, to prove my commitment to a life free from addiction's chains. Psychologically, faith reoriented my priorities. My family became my focus, their love a reward far greater than any jackpot I had ever chased in vain. Spiritually, I learned gratitude. Each day sober was a gift from God, a chance to rebuild trust with Sarah and Ethan through love and faith. Faith transformed my heart, teaching me that true victory wasn't in wealth, but in the peace of knowing I was living for God and my family. Psychologically, faith gave me clarity. I saw my addiction for what it was, a lie, and chose the truth of God's love to guide me forward. Through faith, I found freedom, not just from gambling, but from the prison of my mind, embracing a life of purpose, love, and God's eternal grace. With faith as my guide, I fought my addiction daily, each sober day of victory, a step closer to restoring the family I nearly lost forever. Sarah's trust returned slowly. Her gentle smile reappeared as we talked openly, rebuilding our love on a foundation of faith, forgiveness, and God's boundless grace. Ethan opened his heart again. One evening he asked me to play basketball, his laughter a melody that healed the wounds I had caused his soul. We returned to church as a family, singing hymns together, our voices united in gratitude for the second chance God had granted our broken hearts. I worked overtime, paying off debts, each check a promise kept to Sarah, proving my love through actions, not words, under God's watchful care. Our home filled with joy again, family dinners echoed with stories and laughter as we cherished the love we had fought so hard to reclaim together. I shared my journey at church, my testimony of redemption, hoping my story would light a path for others lost in addiction's merciless grip. Sarah forgave me fully, her embrace a miracle, her love a testament to God's power to heal even the deepest wounds we'd inflicted on each other. Ethan called me Dad again, his trust restored, as we rebuilt our bond through time, faith, and the love that had never truly left us. We volunteered together, serving meals at church, our family united in purpose, giving back to a community that held us through our darkest days. Our debts were cleared, our home secure, as God provided through my steady work, a blessing that taught us gratitude for life's simplest gifts. Ethan's dreams revived. He applied for college, his eyes bright with hope, knowing his father was now a man he could trust and admire. Sarah's health bloomed again, her laughter returned, a song of healing as our love grew stronger, rooted in faith that carried us through the storm. I mentored others in my support group, sharing God's grace, helping men find freedom, knowing my pain had purpose and guiding them to hope. Our community embraced us again, their love a reminder that God works through others, restoring not just our family, but our place among friends. Each night, we prayed together, thanking God for His mercy, for the love that survived our trials, for the family we'd become through His grace. My heart was full, no longer chasing empty bets, but cherishing the eternal treasure of my family, redeemed by faith, love, and God's unending faithfulness. God turned our ashes into beauty, our pain into purpose, proving that with faith, no family is too broken to be restored by His love. If addiction or broken trust is tearing your family apart, know that you're not alone. God's love can guide you to healing, just as it did for me. Take the first step today. Pray for strength, confess your struggles, and let God's grace lead you to a community that will lift you up. Join a support group, find a church, or talk to someone you trust. Your story of redemption starts with one brave choice to seek help. Share your story in the comments below. Your struggles and victories can inspire others, showing them that faith can heal even the deepest family wounds. Subscribe to Faithful Families for more stories of hope. Let's walk this journey together, building stronger families through the power of God's love and grace. No family is too broken for God to restore. Believe in His love, take action today, and watch Him turn your pain into a beautiful redemption.